In this seemingly limitless digital world, where freedom of speech and expression often acts as a double-edged sword that can either elevate someone to the pinnacle of fame or, conversely, bring them down to the brink of destruction in a matter of seconds, we are faced with a phenomenon that is not only interesting but also terrifying, which is the emergence of a figure whose name has suddenly soared and captured the public's attention in a very unconventional, even dangerous way, namely a figure named Bella the Wolf. Prior to this horrendous incident, Bella was just one of thousands, perhaps millions, of influencers vying for a glimmer of attention in the endless sea of content that constantly flows across social media platforms every second, every minute, non-stop, flooding cyberspace with an infinite amount of information, opinions, and entertainment. However, in her lustful and ambitious quest to steal the limelight and gain more followers, an endeavor that in many ways mirrors the craze for fame in this digital age, Bella chose a path that was not only wrong, but also extremely dangerous, a path paved with controversy, riddled with pitfalls ready to pounce on anyone who tries to walk it without due consideration and without a sense of responsibility, a path that often ends in destruction for those who are not careful in treading it. Bella, who was initially known as an edgy girl who liked to create content that was a little offbeat and often not in line with the norms, suddenly took the internet by storm when she, in her confident and unfiltered style, decided to tackle a very sensitive and controversial topic, a topic that not only provoked the emotions of millions of people but also drew enormous outrage from various circles, both religious and secular. In a move that could be considered digital suicide, he touched on a subject that should be avoided by anyone who wants to stay in the safe zone of cyberspace, a subject that is littered with minds ready to explode at any moment, namely religion, a subject that in many ways is considered sacred and should not be played with, which is often a trigger for conflict and violence both in the real world and in the noise and uncertainty of cyberspace. In a video that initially seems like ordinary content, perhaps just one of thousands created by other influencers trying to get attention, Bella makes comments that are highly provocative and considered highly offensive by many. With a sharp, sarcastic tone, as if she was deliberately stoking a fire in a long-standing ember beneath the surface, she spoke in a way that not only played with the boundaries of social norms, but also blatantly offended religious issues in a very inappropriate way, denigrating the beliefs held dear by millions, even billions of people around the world, as if she forgot or perhaps ignored that every word she uttered had the potential to hurt and offend many people. In the video, Bella unapologetically criticizes, mocks, and even laughs at religious symbols that are sacred to many, an act that is not only considered disrespectful but also deeply offensive to many people who feel their faith is being trampled upon so cruelly and callously. It didn't take long for the video to go viral. In a matter of hours, not days or weeks, the video went viral on various social media platforms, sparking a huge backlash from all corners of the world. The initial wave of outrage from just a handful of people quickly turned into a massive storm that hit Bella mercilessly. Hashtags like #BellaTheWolf began to appear, accompanied by thousands, even millions of comments full of anger, condemnation, and threats, as if the entire virtual world was united in one voice to condemn Bella's actions that were considered to have exceeded the limits of what could be tolerated. Bella, who may have initially thought that her content would only spark a little debate and discussion that could boost her popularity, suddenly found herself in the middle of a storm that she could not control, a storm so big and so fierce that it threatened not only her reputation but also her physical safety, making her realize, perhaps too late, that what she did was not just a small mistake, but a big blunder that could destroy her career and her life. It wasn't just ordinary netizens who were outraged and criticized Bella, but also religious leaders and important figures who felt that Bella had crossed boundaries that should not be crossed. They accused Bella of blasphemy, a charge that in many countries can lead to very serious legal consequences. This accusation is no joke, especially in countries that have very strict laws regarding defamation of religion. In Indonesia, for example, blasphemy cases are not something to be taken lightly. There are many instances where people deemed to have offended or insulted a particular religion have had to face severe legal charges, even jail time. Bella, who may have initially been looking for attention and sensation, suddenly found herself on the brink of a very deep and dark abyss, an abyss that she probably never imagined she would face when she first decided to create such controversial content, an abyss so deep and so dark that she may not know how to get out of it.
That's what you wanted, right? Oh my god, yeah, you dirty fucking nigger. Yeah.
It wasn't just ordinary netizens who were outraged and criticized Bella, but also religious leaders and important figures who felt that Bella had crossed boundaries that should not be crossed. They accused Bella of blasphemy, a charge that in many countries can lead to very serious legal consequences. This accusation is no joke, especially in countries that have very strict laws regarding defamation of religion. In Indonesia, for example, blasphemy cases are not something to be taken lightly. There are many instances where people deemed to have offended or insulted a particular religion have had to face severe legal charges, even jail time. Bella, who may have initially been looking for attention and sensation, suddenly found herself on the brink of a very deep and dark abyss, an abyss that she probably never imagined she would face when she first decided to create such controversial content, an abyss so deep and so dark that she may not know how to get out of it. Instead of defusing the situation by apologizing or trying to walk back her statements, Bella chose to go against the grain in a very provocative way. She responded to the wave of criticism and condemnation that hit her with the now cliched phrase, "haters gonna hate," as if what she did wasn't wrong, but simply a form of freedom of expression that should be accepted by everyone, no matter how offensive or hurtful they are. However, the already angry public did not accept that excuse. They see Bella's attitude as a form of arrogance that is not only stupid but also very dangerous. Instead of dousing the fire, Bella poured gasoline on it, making it burn even bigger and harder to extinguish. The mainstream media did not remain silent. They immediately stepped in and started covering the Bella the Wolf case very intensely. News about this controversy quickly became headlines in various media outlets, beating out other news that usually dominated public attention. Experts were invited to give their comments on the case, discussing the social and legal implications of what Bella had done. They spoke about the importance of social responsibility in every action, especially in a digital world that is full of freedom but also full of risks. They emphasized that freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences, especially when it involves highly sensitive issues such as religion, issues that could spark conflicts and riots if not handled carefully. Bella's loyal fans, who may have initially tried to defend their idol on the grounds that it's just a joke, don't take it seriously, or everyone has the right to express their opinion.
Starting. Nigga, I'm gonna kill myself if you don't hurry the fuck up.
Bella, how many times have actually? No, I'm gonna send Bella, but not y'all.
So you just edged everybody, and you're not gonna send it in selfies.
Everybody can just keep that edging going.
No, you're gonna send it right now, nigga. Or Rico stays demoted.
Slowly began to realize that this situation was much more serious than they had imagined. They began to back off, leaving Bella alone to weather the storm she had created herself. In the eyes of the public, Bella is now no longer just an attention-seeking influencer but has become a symbol of everything that is wrong with the way we use social media, a symbol of the dangers that lurk behind the often abused freedom of expression, a bitter lesson on how one wrong move can ruin your life in an instant. Ultimately, Bella the Wolf serves as a very important warning about how dangerous it can be to play around with topics we don't fully understand or appreciate, especially in a world full of noise and uncertainty. Bella may have hoped to be known as someone who speaks her mind, unfiltered, but all she got was the labels of troublemaker and sensation seeker, labels that would stick with her for years. She eventually learned, in the harshest and most bitter way, that not all attention is good, and not all fame is fun, a lesson she probably wished she didn't have to learn in such a cruel and painful way. In this world full of traps, one wrong move can send you down a deep, dark pit, and Bella has stepped deep into that pit without realizing it, or perhaps without caring. The story ends with a very bitter reminder: in an era where everyone has a stage, where everyone can speak and be heard by millions of people around the world, you have to be more careful with what you say and how you say it, because every word you say can be a double-edged knife that not only hurts others, but can also turn around to hurt yourself in the most unexpected and most devastating ways. Bella the Wolf, in her ambitious quest for the limelight, has taught us an important lesson about the line between free speech and social responsibility, a line that we too often forget in this world of noise, a line that is too often ignored in favor of fleeting and false popularity. Bella has become a symbol of the risks inherent in our actions online, a reminder that behind every click, every share, every comment, there are unexpected and often devastating repercussions that we sometimes cannot foresee but can feel very clearly when we face the consequences of our actions that we may not have thought through. See you next video. Peace.